Hey gang, it's your buddy Platt. Today I show you how to make watermelon liqueur. So let's go. Alright guys, time to make another liqueur. I love these fruit-based liqueurs. They're fairly simple recipes. Today I think we got something fun. Summertime, people love fresh fruit, and one of the most popular summertime fruits is, of course, watermelon. Whether you just eating them as a whole or throwing them in a fruit salad, what have you, watermelon's fun. I've made watermelon wine before, so I thought, why not watermelon liqueur? This particular liqueur we're going to make, I think, would make a great complement in cocktails. You could use it as a shooter, of course. Watermelon tastes great. You could throw it with some kind of soda like a Sprite, 7-Up, or whatever. But I think for this liqueur, I think you might find it goes great in cocktails as a complementary spirit. I could see you, instead of a Cointreau or a triple sec in, let's say, a margarita, use a little bit of watermelon liqueur, have you watermelon margarita, or instead of, again, triple sec or something like that in a lemon drop, a watermelon lemon drop, maybe a maybe in a Cosmo, kind of like compare and contrast with the cranberries or whatever. So anyway, something real fun. This recipe, like I said, is fairly simple. Only takes a few minutes of prep time. It will take a week for a fruit to macerate. So in about a week, you should have something to drink. Well, with that being said, let's get to making some watermelon liqueur. All right, gang, the first thing we're going to do is we are going to put 2 cups of vodka into our 1-quart mason jar, whatever you have as far as, a wide mouth jar so we can macerate our fruit. Pour that in there. And then next thing we're going to do, I bought just store-bought kind of pre-cut watermelon, save me a little work, but one of the things I'm going to have to do, and if you can find it in the store, do it, you want to go seedless. Kind of flick out these little seeds in there. You want to take these out because seeds have tannins in them, and if you let that macerate in your spirit, we're using vodka, you could pick up some bitterness, some off flavors, and so we want to avoid that. So you want to take the seeds out your watermelon just to improve flavor. As far as how much fruit, there's not necessarily a set weight, just as much fruit as you can get in there with the vodka covering it. You don't want to leave any exposed fruit. The fruit will deteriorate faster on you that way. And even though it is in vodka, it's in spirit, the fruit will still deteriorate and again could produce off flavor. So you want to make sure you don't put too much fruit in there and it gets exposed and starts oxidizing or breaking down. All right, taking these seeds out here. One thing we're going to do with this, because watermelon is actually a fairly delicate fruit compared to, let's say, if you did either like orange peels, if we're making limoncello, or cherries, berries. So we will not leave this at room temperature. We are actually going to put this in the fridge for 1 week, because if not at room temperature, the fruit would start breaking down too. So we're going to leave this in the fridge for 1 week. All right, I'm going to cut a couple more pieces. We're going to throw in the fridge, like I said, and leave it. You want to leave it in the fridge in the vodka for about 1 week, and then we'll come back to strain and then add our sugar solution. Well, all right, guys, it has been a week. We are getting ready to filter our watermelon, but before we do that, let's go ahead and make our sweetener or simple syrup. I've done this before plenty of times on videos. Pretty simple. I have 1 cup of water and 1 cup of sugar. You can always ramp this up if you're making more whatever liqueur. Just keep it at 1 part sugar, 1 part water. Going to heat up. I'm heating up the water here. No need to bring it to boil. We're adding it to a spirit, so we're not worried about bacterial growth. It's not like home brewing or what have you. Go ahead and pour that sugar in. All right, every bit of that. We're going to keep stirring this, heat this up till we get this perfectly clear. It should almost be, water clear when we're done. Then we're going to cool this down, and while we do that, we'll come back and filter out our watermelon. Okay, guys, well, we've got our simple syrup cooling down. We'll go ahead and filter our watermelon. If you're worried about, particulate or whatever, you could throw a little piece of cheesecloth. This is pretty fine filter right there, or sieve, whatever verbiage you want to use on that. So I'm not going to, and again, these are kind of big pieces, so we'll go ahead and pour this in. We've been letting this sit for a week. Really didn't get a lot of color on this, as I'd probably talked about before. Watermelon is kind of a fragile fruit, not the most intense flavor, and all same goes for the color. If you wanted to, you could press this because there's no skin on it, so we wouldn't pick up any tannins. I'm just probably going to eat this a little bit later. You could make them a little treats, put them in little, serving cups. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and add our sugar. We'll let that cool down a little bit more, and we'll come back to wrap up. All right, guys, time to wrap up this fun, fairly easy little recipe here. Real quick, go over that. We started off, basically what I did in a quart mason jar was put 2 cups of vodka in, and then I put enough fruit to basically, get it to the top where we covered all the fruit, as much fruit as I could really cram in there with that 2 cups of vodka. I let it sit for 1 week in the refrigerator. If you leave it out, like I said, watermelon's a fragile fruit. It'll break down real quick. I've worked at bars where we did, some kind of watermelon infusion, and you'd leave the jar out, and that fruit broke down pretty quick and got to looking gnarly pretty quick at room temperature. That's why I suggested the fridge. Then after 1 week, we came back. I made our simple syrup or sweetener, a cup of sugar, a cup of water, and then we added it to our vodka. We've got roughly 1 quart of 40 proof homemade watermelon liqueur. Kind of tough to tell on the camera, but this is a very light colored pink. Let's see what we get taste-wise. Watermelon definitely on the nose. You know it's there, like I said, just real light color. Okay, just real light, real refreshing. Plenty of sweetness, of course. Got that classic viscosity that you get in the liqueur. This would make for a nice little refreshing shooter. I will tell you this up front. It's, like I said, fairly light. If you want a little more intense watermelon flavor, I'd let it go for a couple more days. I don't know if I'd let it go more than 2 weeks, but I'd let it go for probably a couple more days to get a little more intense flavor. I don't know if you're going to get much more color out of it, but the watermelon's there, just nice, really refreshing, little fun, little summertime shooter. Well, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please hit subscribe down below. Also, please like the video because it lets YouTube know we're putting out good content. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or ideas for videos, please leave them in the comment section, or you can always contact me on the Twitter page. Until next time, bottoms up.